I think I'm audible now. Okay. Well, we've got that going for us. Hopefully people can hear me and the music. And now let's work on fixing the rest of this. Well, I hope everybody's doing well today. The drawing currently isn't visible, but it should be soon. I'll give it a moment. Hear you but not see? Okay, alright, that's fine. I'll fix it. It'll get fixed. It'll get hecking fixed. It's a Monday today, and it's the Monday after the last Monday was a holiday, so it's like, ah, really? We've got Mondays again, you know? But hey, at least we have drawing stream. Drawing stream, good. How's everyone doing on this fine evening? For the people who are following One Piece, by the way, I think yesterday or maybe 2 days ago, I don't remember exactly which one, they revealed what Chopper looks like in the live action. Which is, like, not bad, actually. Like, I think it could have definitely been worse. Like, I think it's actually pretty good. If you haven't followed One Piece or heard about One Piece, it's great. It's a show about pirates. It's amazing. It's an anime. I've been keeping up with the manga for, like, I don't know, 10 years? Maybe more than that. So it's exciting seeing the live action. Okay, let's put the model back on here. Still no, huh? Kind of weird. Oh, okay. All right. This is the thing. Okay, it could be a little higher up. Let's fix that. Okay, there, nice. What else we got? Drawing, right, yeah, okay. Put the drawing up. All right, there we go. We're live, properly live. Let me just move down a little myself, and then I think we're good. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Drawing and Chatting. I think we don't have dust today, I believe. So let me change this too. And I don't think I've changed any of the descriptions, actually, so I gotta do that. Sketching, and what are we doing today? I thought I'd do some animation stuff again. Just a little bit, because I never finished it. And I've learned a little bit more about Procreate Dreams, just a tiny bit. So I'm gonna mess around with Procreate Dreams and maybe work on this old animation, see if we can get it to look good. Animation, woo. There we go. Let's get to it. It's the animation, woo! Fun fact, we have recently discovered, by which I mean I have recently discovered to my chagrin, that if I'm shipping Maple and Fable together, the ship name would be Maple Story. I'm so mad about it, but it works so well. It's like in Three Houses when people ship Annette and Felix. People were calling it Netflix. It's so good. Yeah, it's Pride Month. Yeah, it's also Pride Month. Oh yeah, happy Pride to everybody. That's true. We stan our Pride friends. And we also support all people in this chat. If anyone is being rude or mean for any reasons, I will banish them. Fortunately, we have a princess and a witch on our side today. So yeah, I think, what am I gonna do first? Maybe fix up some of the things that I didn't like as much about the animation. I think I didn't want to move the feet. Was that a thing I said? I think that might have been a thing I said. Let's fix the onion skin here. Primary frame. For a second. 1. There. Oh, you can't see anything? What? Where's the onion skin? Where's the hecking onion skin? Where did it go? This is so weird. Okay, whatever. I'll just fix this one by my own... Wait. Flames 1. Oh, there it is. Haha, I found it. I hecking found it. A Netflix, I love it. Yeah, people literally just called it Netflix, like N-E-T-T-E and then F-L-I-X. So there has been a history of people using other corporations' names as their ship names. This is the thing. This is allowed now. Apparently Maple Story is canon. Okay, let's go here. Yeah, I do love when ship names happen to be the names of real things. I also love when they're super creative. I gotta shout out the Homestuck fandom for that, actually, back in the day. Back in the olden days, when Homestuck was actually a thing and valid. There were some really funny ship names in there. Like communism for the character that wields a hammer getting shipped with a character who wields a sickle. I think Pokemon Adventures also has some really inventive ship names that I kind of didn't even get the meaning of until I got into it a little bit more. Like, I think Ruby Sapphire is called frantic shipping, right? Why? I don't know. But they are. I looked this up on AO3 and I have learned that apparently Ruby and Sapphire are frantic shipping. I think it's because they're both frantically looking for the last badge/contest ribbon, maybe? Is that why? Is that the thing? I'm not sure. Also, we've put on some chill Nintendo music today. What is this? It's soothing and relaxing Nintendo music to chill out to. Just what I'd like to hear. Let me know if the music is too loud or too quiet, though. That might be a thing. Almost doing fine. Thinking a lot about Echo lately. Ayy. So have I. It is unfortunate how Echoes of Wisdom has completely overwritten our brains. But in my point, at least it's fine. There's also nameless shipping for Red X Blue? Wait, blue as in the girl or the guy? Because it gets real confusing. Also, what song is this? It's kind of nice. Track list. 740. My Happy Sweet Time from Kirby Planet Robobot. Oh, interesting. Okay, I didn't know that. Here. And then... Actually, you know what I could do? I could just, before I do any of this, let me just combine these. And then, there. Merge down. Merge down. Blue the guy, okay. So for like the gay Red X Blue ship. Homestuck, the thing I heard about multiple times, but I'm too scared to ask about it. That's so valid though. As a Homestuck fan, I still consider myself a Homestuck fan. I think there's a lot of people who are like ashamed to be a Homestuck fan, but no, that stuff was great. Some fans took it a little too far, but genuinely not as many as you would have thought. The silent majority of Homestuck fans were good people who really got into a really well-written series. I gotta admit, the writing was great. I didn't make a Discord post? Oh no! Frick, okay, wait, let me do it now. Give me a moment. Okay, let's go do that. Let's go make myself a Discord. Go make myself a post. That's my bad. Yeah, Homestuck is great. It's about 4 human kids at first. This is what it's about. It gets scoped up so much by the end of it. Like, it's incredibly a different story by the end of it. But at first, it's about 4 kids who are stuck at their houses, and each of them has control over the next one in the line's house through a video game, and they have to build upwards, and they're trying to like build out of their houses with various different contraptions and mechanics, and a lot of coding and programming structures get involved. Like, I genuinely did learn about data structures from Homestuck. But yeah, it becomes massively overscoped very, very quickly. And eventually turns into like time-traveling aliens, space fair, multiple different romance triangles, types, and societies entirely. It's pretty good. It was a good time. Draw stream happening. No. Forgot to make post. Whoops. Send. All right. Message sent. How are you doing, Lynn? I am doing great. Been a little bit tired, but you know what? Them's the breaks. Such is the way. Aurora the comic, not the Zelda, has some good ones too, like Fahrenheit? Farron being the race of one of the characters, and Fahrenheit referring to the fire powers of the second. Oh, I love that. That's good. I do appreciate when a good pun name happens. Yeah, shout out to, oh, I blanked immediately. Oh, now I remembered it again. Shout out to my own ship name that I began, that I think nobody follows except for me, for Hikari and Agnea from Octopath 2, where Hikari means light, and Agnea's last name is Bristarni, and she's all about, like, becoming a star and all that, so Starlight. It works. Hello, have you been ambushed by a dust? I was told I would be ambushed, which I suppose kind of ruins the ambushing. But eventually, I'm sure, dust will commence with the ambush. For now, we maintain a dustless environment. I done forgore, this is true. I forgore to make. Many sad. Okay, what else is wrong about this animation? First of all, let's make it faster. Can't see what's wrong until you make it a little faster. I feel like the sleeves could be a little different on Fable, maybe? I'm gonna try to fix all the, like, glaring inconsistencies, and then we're gonna put it into Dreams and animate it, like, with other things. And then we need a background too, obviously. There's lots of stuff to do, but... First, glaring inconsistencies, then more things. Animation is pretty smooth so far. Thank you, legit. I appreciate it. I think so. Trying to find anything else. Because, like, once I start outlining, it's gonna be much more difficult to go back and fix things, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna, like, stare at it real hard. Yeah, I think the sleeve here, just kind of like this sleeve right here. This looks weird to me. Maybe it shouldn't be moving that much. How am I gonna fix that? Let's see. So it's this frame. Just gonna hand animate some stuff. Yo, Mesa, thank you for the resub. I appreciate it. 37 months. That makes me feel old. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Mesa's great. Mesa's been around for ages, and I very much appreciate them. What are you planning to use that animation for? Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna put it in like another little thing. I wanna make like a proper animation. Like, I'm gonna put this in Dreams, and I'm gonna kind of make it go up and down a little bit. Like, I have to think of a background, by the way, so if you have any suggestions for like places they could be flying over that would look really scenic, let me know. Yeah, then let's make this waver a bit less, I think. Hope you've been well. I have indeed. I have indeed. I've been doing all right. Been doing great. Been really busy at work, actually. But recently it's cleared up a little bit more, which is nice. But recently I am still tired. Such is the way. Okay, so it goes like here and then up. I think that's kind of wrong too. It shouldn't be going, because I was thinking of this as going more upwards when I first did this. Can we fix that? Yeah, I think I can move this one upwards a little. Let's do that. A nice Paris-like city would be a nice background. Okay, I'm trying to think of... So these are people from a Zelda game. They're from A Link to the Past and Link Between Worlds. So I'm trying to think of a maybe like city-like place in there. Maybe like a Hyrule Castle in the background type of thing. That could be nice. That's a good idea. The Witch's Bakery Kickstarter. Ooh. Okay. That sounds cool. Witch's Bakery. Speaking of ambushing, discovered that you can ambush monsters with levers. Oh, really? I love that. Oh yeah, my roommate's been playing Echoes of Wisdom. I think she just finished, actually. So Ari has now finished Echoes of Wisdom, and we can now spoil things. That said, it's fun going back and watching somebody else play the game, you know? What can I say? Quite interesting. I've picked up a few new details that I forgot about the first time around. And I got to try out some of the things that I didn't get to try out the first time around as well, like using the sword system. Okay. Maybe the upwards one kind of goes more down again? I don't know. I feel like I just shouldn't be changing that much. Oh, maybe you should go like left and right, maybe. Okay, I'll do that. So like here. This is as far right as it goes, and then outwards and then back. Okay. So here, and then this should go inwards. Oops, wrong color. Whoa, what's this cute little animation? Hey, we're back! Yeah, I started working on this ages ago, folks, and now that it's Pride Month, which I've been reminded of, maybe now is the right time to finish it. Maybe now is the time. Yeah, like this maybe, and then it just goes up a little more. Ooh, this could work. Maple Story the ship, not the game, yeah. Yeah, for people who don't know, maybe I should write this in the description, hold on. Fable ALTTP. And her name is Irene, her name is also Maple. It could be either. I'm merging two separate characters together, so we'll call her Maple. There. There. Nice. Oh no, it's too long. It's too long. Okay, fine. You know what? People are gonna have to just see that it is an animation because it is. There. Dust is telling me that my preparations won't save me. Oh no. I will await her ambush eagerly. With all necessary precautions. Yeah, maybe something like this works a little better. I think it does, actually. I think this is nice. Yeah, this shouldn't go inwards. Have you played The Witch's Bakery? Oh, it's a Kickstarter game. Has it been finished yet? Maybe, maybe no. Lots of good games out there. I just can't wait to be finished. Hashtag Hades 2. And hey, maybe I'll play Hollow Knight soon. Who knows? It could win the poll. I don't even know if it'll be on the poll, but but if it's on the poll, it could win. Then I'm gonna need to start putting the clown makeup on and waiting for Silksong too. That'll be a thing. Okay, I think this works. Yeah. Because there's not too much fabric there to really move. So it shouldn't be too different from the original frame, I think. Presumably. Not that I'm an expert or anything. If you want true pro animation, this is not the place to be. Okay, don't worry about that last frame. I'm gonna fix it. Hashtag duplicate. And stick there. And it should be good, I think. This is supposed to be the same frame twice, right? Maybe not. What did I duplicate? Did I duplicate the wrong one? The heck? Silksong 2025 is real. We have some Silksong truthers in the chat. I can't disagree, really. I feel like it should be. Okay, it is this frame. Did I not duplicate this one? I thought I did. There we go. Okay. There we go. That looks a little better. Nice. And Deltarune. Yeah, Deltarune, I believe. The clown makeup when we expect Kingdom Hearts 4 Genealogy Remake. Yeah! Oh man, I haven't taken the clown makeup off from the Genealogy Remake things. It's still on. It's still on. I believe in the Genealogy Remake. Ain't no one stopping me. Okay, what else? Other than the feet kind of suddenly becoming small, just don't worry about it. I think we're good. I think this is basically it. I could add one more, like, hair spike to the Fable, but that's kind of fine. Yeah, okay. Let's go add some lines and make it look a little more detailed. Let's do that. It's only 3 frames, technically. That's the secret. I'm gonna try to do all of this with only 3 frames, really. Genealogy Remake will be here by the end of the decade, trust. At the end of the decade? Holy shit. Alright, fine. 5 years, folks. If the Three Houses cast waited 5 years for the second half of their game, we can wait for Genealogy. Alright, how detailed do I want this to be? Maybe I should use, like, the ink brush? I don't know. Maybe not. Yeah, I'm not used to this brush. I'm using my normal brush. This is why we try things out. Silksong will never happen, I made sure of it. Oh no, Hobbit, what did you do? Can I, like, actually make this more... I think the last time I did this, I had a much smaller canvas size possible. I can probably make this a lot bigger. Let's do that. Here. Can I double it? It's kind of a lot of pixels. Ooh, maybe I can. Okay, let's do that. Summoned Mercedes from Fodlan. Hey! Are you a Mercedes fan? Congrats, Hobbit. Mercedes is great. I do like Mercedes. Yes, I am. I do really like the fact that Mercedes' age is so cleverly hinting at her backstory. Like, the fact that certain characters are older or younger than the rest of the cast in Three Houses all has a meaning to it, and I love that. That's exactly what I like to see in a game. A game where the devs really thought hard about every decision. If I had to pick a favorite character from Three Houses, though, Linhardt, I have to say. Oop. Hold on, folks. And... bam. Delete. Yeah, Mercedes is older than Violet, I think. So is Balthus, I believe, from the DLC. What? What color are Maple's eyes? Does she have an eye color? Maple, Oracle of Seasons. It's not loading. There is no internet in Ba Sing Se. Does she have an eye color? Not really. I think black, maybe? Maybe like kinda green? I can't quite tell. She's got green eyeshadow a little bit, but I've taken that off because Irene doesn't have it. Let's check Irene's eye color. Irene, A Link Between Worlds. Between Worlds. Balthus is a homie until suddenly he needs money and then he's no longer a homie. That's his thing. He like gets into gambling debts, right? I guess she kind of has like blue eyes. I'm seeing like kind of a dark blue. We all got a broke homie. Do not fuel your Balthus's gambling addictions, friends. Do not do it. Okay, maybe something like this. And then we gotta drew the little blush. And then maybe something like this? Doesn't quite look right though. I think there's too many pixels here. I kinda liked it the old way. How to make this work? Animation is so strange. I'm gonna duplicate the artwork so I can keep the old stuff. That's probably the best way to do it. Just in case. Here. Select. Here. Duplicate. Nice. Gambling addiction? Psh, I could never. Now let's go redeem some gachas, yeah. You're on this stream, you cannot escape. It's too late now. Oh. Here? There we go. What? No. Okay, this is close enough. Love how Balthus goes, hey, how about instead of fighting we could go for dinner, your treat? Your broke homie back at it again. I mean, there are worse gambling addicts in the Fire Emblem series. Like, Balthus is actually relatively safe among the gambling addicts. There are other ones that are genuinely not as good. Okay. I'm not sure how cheapy I should make this. Kind of looks a little off though with this. Maybe I go lighter on the lines? Let's give that a try. Yeah, I think I can go a little lighter on the lines. Yeah, Makalov exists. And then there's Dice from FE 11 or 12, maybe 12. I think he's only in 12. This is a decent number of gamblers. The guy from Joshua, I want to say. Joshua from Sacred Stones. And then maybe something like this. The problem is remembering where all these lines go. Yo, Avid, how's it going? Oh, hold on a second, folks. I'll be right back in a second. And I'm back. Yellow. The ambush is in progress. No, you've jumped the gun, Mesa. 'Twas not the ambush. I simply needed to catch a bug. Like a real bug and not like a internet bug. You know what it is. How is Gambler not a class in Fire Emblem? Do you really want to like bet on things in... I guess you kind of do in Fire Emblem anyways. Actually, fun fact, I want to say Kieran's personal skill is about gambling, despite him not being Makalov. I don't remember this completely well, but I feel like in either Path of Radiance or Radiant Dawn, Kieran has a special skill about gambling. If you always expect the ambush for every interruption, you'll never be caught off guard. Mesa has a point. Shit, you're right. For some reason, this animation reminds you of Kaguya-sama. I don't know anything about that, actually. What is that? What is Kaguya-sama? Hey, someone got Lullaby. Nice. Speaking of people we don't expect. Lullaby for sure. Who got Lullaby? Reaper did. Nice. Congrats. Lullaby best. I feel like the sun definitely has to be coming from the top, right? Like, this is the sun. Here, let me draw like a little dot for sunlight. Oh, come back. Ah, okay, there. Let's keep that on. And then, oh, come back. Okay, there. Maybe this way? Yeah, okay, that'll work. If the sun was coming from the top left, would it be easier to animate the shadows from the hat flapping? I don't know, I guess we'll find out. I think the sun should thematically be coming from, actually, you know what? Hold on. Yeah, I think the sun should thematically be coming from this, like, top corner where Fable is. Cause Maple the Witch is like a little bit in the darkness, right? That's the point. She should be a little shaded, I think. Shaded by her hat. And by Fable a little. But if I put it to, yeah, where are they flying to and from? Yeah, so I was actually asking earlier too in chat, for people who would like, suggest me a location that they can be flying over, because I do need to add a background. So far, maybe just like Hyrule Castle in the background and there's just, I don't know, like fields or something. Like maybe they're kind of to the south of Hyrule Castle and they're flying horizontally across the map, essentially, is what I'm thinking of. It's not gonna be super distinct. I'll just put like one or two things in the background to explain where they are. And I bet like I'm gonna remove these bottom clouds and make them a little differenter. This is like an old animation. We'll see if we actually finish it this time. This is the goal. Death Mountain, I heard it's beautiful this time of year. Just straight into the fires of hell. Jump right in. Is this Nintendo music? Oh, I guess it is. 32. Colony 9 Night from Xenoblade Chronicles. Oh, okay. Sounds like a very romantic place to me. I guess it is hot. You joke, but can you imagine the sight? Yeah, it might actually look kind of pretty. I feel like Death Mountain has to be a spectacle, but it's not one you would want to like be in, you know? Unless you're a Goron, in which case, like, have fun. Lots of non-Fire Emblem characters being pulled in the gacha tonight. Wonderful. You mean the Fire Emblems are being outweighed? Have the odds truly shifted? Have the tables turned? Have the scales tipped? This is what happens when you add Links and Zeldas from each game. I mean, there's like a max of like 22 Links and Zeldas. Because there's 11 Links and 11 Zeldas, right? And then maybe there's like a few other characters in there, but other than that, it's like, it's got a decent number of Fire Emblems in there. This is true, actually. Surprisingly few Marts. A semi-dormant volcano in the background with a plume of smoke flitting about with the clouds as snow-capped peaks glisten in the morning light. Damn. Sounds pleasant. Actually, it sounds really good, yeah. Shit. See Echo using Bind on Silent, summoning a pea-hat, and then flying into the sunset. Hey Silent, get ready! And Silent has just enough time to sign like what? And then... He would enjoy it, he would enjoy it. I like to think that after the adventures of Echoes of Wisdom, both Silent and Echo have been in Conde's brother's hot air balloon, and they've like traveled north, and they've visited what I like to believe is Hytopia. Alright, I think this whole area should be in shade, right? Now might be the time to start doing some shadows. If I know where the shadows are gonna be. Could have them flying over Lake Hylia. Yeah, I like that. Ooh. That's probably a little bit more... Oh, yeah, okay. Actually, yeah, in A Link to the Past, Lake Hylia is south of Hyrule, so I could put Hyrule Castle in the background, but then it wouldn't reflect. The reflection would be really weird if it managed to reflect all that way. It would reflect the sky. But that would be cute. I think that would take an amount of animation that I don't know if I can actually pull off. But I do like that. Yeah, I may have to stay away from the lake actually, because I don't know if my skills can keep up with it. I am not a master at animation. This is my first animation. Oh. Here. Does Irene ever canonically show her shoes? I think she does, right? I looked it up and found out they were red. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, okay, she has red shoes. Makes sense. You know, Wizard of Oz. I really love the fairy tale vibe of these two. Because, like, Fable is so clearly Alice from Alice in Wonderland. And Maple has, like, all the Wicked Witch of the West vibes. This is my first animation, Lynn says as she hits a home run. I wish. I wish. We'll see how good it turns out. I don't know. In the words of our good friend Nino from Fire Emblem 7, I'll do my best. Do they ever actually show what her shoes look like, or do we just know that they're red? Okay, we just know that they're red. They're like red dots. They could be pointier, but I kind of like them more like this. I guess we're gonna keep them like this because I like it this way. They could be a little pointier. Maybe we make them like... Alright, you know what? What do the freaking ruby slippers from Wizard of Oz look like? Dorothy... Ruby slippers... Wizard of Oz. Honestly, Fable kind of looks like Dorothy too, doesn't she? She's got all of the protagonist vibes. Every single protagonist. Okay, they're just like the same type of shoe, but cut a little smaller, I guess. This is fine. Love how for 2 years just assumed that these names, Echo, Silent, Dawn, Lullaby, were just universally known and accepted. No, they are. I did not, wait, yeah. Okay, Echo and Silent I did come up with. But like most of the names I have stolen very, very shamelessly and very openly, by the way, from the Zelda fan community at large. I did not come up with the names. The characters are mine, the designs are mine. But the names, I no longer can figure out actually who came up with them. I have asked around and nobody in the fandom seems to know who came up with them. I was around for the end of it, so I set the names for like Artemis, Phantom, Echo, Silent, Spirit. The characters that didn't really have names, I put names to, but other than that... other than that, I took the names from other people. The Zeldas are mine, but I am using the fan names from the community. The Linked Universe author did not also come up with these names. They were just kind of made by the fandom at large, I believe. And I'm not sure who made them. If anyone figures it out, let me know. I'll definitely credit. The plot thickens. The plot thickens. Yeah. Full disclaimer. That said, I can't explain the very clear reasoning for each name. I did make sure I understood all of them. Not that I asked anyone. I think they're all pretty obvious. Or I think... For me, I worked the characterizations into it such that I can tell what each name means and why it's there. Lynn stealing from the community? You mean this is a Zelda-based comic? I stole from the Zelda franchise? Gasp, how could I? What do you mean my fan art isn't actually my own thing? This is fan art, folks. Just so you know, I did not make... you know, fun fact, I don't know if you people, if I've spoken about this on stream before, but I was laughing about this with a friend recently. Fun fact, on one of the YouTube videos for Wielders of Wisdom, for like the Wisdomverse comics which I wrote, someone in the comics had played Echoes of Wisdom recently, and then they had come to the like YouTube video that one voice acting group, I forgot their name, frick. Gabaleth. They're really cool and they voice acted my comics and it's really cute and you can find them on YouTube. But those videos had a comment under it, which was saying like, and at one point in the video, Fable, who is actually this girl right here, uses the Cane of Samaria, which is an item from A Link to the Past. And the Cane of Samaria can create like a block out of nothing. And then she does stuff with it, you know, that's like a thing. Like she uses the block for reasons in the comic. But someone had commented underneath it like, oh, did the Echoes of Wisdom development team take the idea of the Trirod from this Cane of Somaria in the comic Wisdomverse? And I'm like, no, I didn't. That's a Zelda item. That item is from 1991. That's not me. Although I'm very glad that you think that the dev team, like, somehow copied. Oh gosh. Like, I'm very, very glad you think that the dev team is, like, actually looking at me or something, but, like, they're not. I wish they were. But they're definitely not. So it's like this, I think. This is how shoes work. Nah, it's all me. It's not me. I did not create the Cane of Samaria. The Cane of Samaria was made in 1991. I don't know if streaming existed back then. I saw that comment, yeah. No, I mean, it's very nice of them to ask, right? And I think somebody else had, like, already set them straight by the time I viewed it. Someone else is like, nah, it's a Cane of Samaria. It's from, like, the game that Fable is from. Yeah, like, okay, good. Thanks for thinking I could come up with this on my own, but you're wrong. Yeah, pretty much. It's more like, I'm not going to be making new items for the Zeldas, because I feel like there is a lot of stuff that they have in their games that they get to use. So, you know, it's more cool that way, I feel like. I'm a very canon-oriented person. I have, however, put a lot of thought into rebalancing them. Oh, fun fact, have I said, I created a tier list for the Wisdomverse girls. It's now on Tier List Maker. If you look up the Wisdomverse girls, you can make tier lists with the girls now. I was looking at that and I'm like, I need to like power scale immediately. I want to rank the Zeldas. Okay, is this how slippers look? I don't like drawing slippers is what we've discovered here. Streaming did exist and it was called radio. Okay, fine. Fine. You're technically right. Did you find the tier list already? Amazing. Thank you, Marionette. I appreciate it. Marionette has the mad skills. I like that you've put in exclamation mark tier list before, as if like there's a bot command for it or something. There isn't. I didn't think that far ahead. It's the first result for tier maker wisdom verse on Google. Okay, that's valid. Now we can share our 100% accurate subjective rankings. Yeah, pretty much. I do love me a subjective ranking. Looking forward to seeing all the best girl rankings. Okay, there. That's a slipper. That's a slipper. You can't trick me. I know that everything in A Link to the Past on my SNES as a small child was made by Lynn. I see through the lies. Yeah, pretty much. No, it's cool though. I am genuinely, like, I do not blame that one fan at all. Like, I think it's very nice that they're like looking for connections between things of old and things of new. Very, very cool to see. How can you rank them all S tier? Moose has the right idea. Moose is correct. Okay. Is this better than the original shoe, though? I feel like I kind of liked the original shoe. I'm going back and forth on the shoe here. I mean, shoes are important in fairy tales. We all know this. Should they be the ruby slippers? Would Fable or not Fable, would Maple or Irene wear the ruby slippers, though? This is the question. Like, they are definitely based on the witch, however... Yeah, maybe like less of a... Maybe I make them look a little more kid-like. Like, I'm gonna take the high heels off, I feel like. Shorter high heels. There. At the ball, I'd like to dance with my fairy godmother. Maple, stop calling me that! Yeah. I have now drawn Fable messing with Maple, like, I think 2 or 3 times. All in drawing streams, actually. In one of the old drawing streams, this one's in the Wisdomverse Extras, I'm pretty sure. In one of the old drawing streams, somebody asked me to draw Fable stealing Maple's hat. To be fair, fans who hyperfixate on a fictional universe probably could come up with stuff at least as good, if not better than the devs. I mean, it's legendary that the devs of Zelda specifically make good games, and they do tend to, if necessary, they will like prioritize gameplay over storyline, which means that people like me will kind of like come in there and start like sewing threads together. Like, look, if I just ignore this tiny piece of canon, but then like it connects like 15 other pieces of canon, like it's so good, like I promise. Okay, maybe like this. Maybe like this. Now the shoe needs to be bigger, doesn't it? Okay. Is that big enough? I don't know, I still kind of like the sneaker more. I don't know. I think I'm gonna go back. I think I might just rewind. How far can I even go back then? Let's see. How insanely strong Echo is? Yeah, she kind of is. Okay, so I can only go back this far, I think. Oh wait, can I go further? I can go further. Woo. Yeah, I kind of like this better. Let's stick with this. Slippers were good as they were. We'll add bows to them though. Because I looked up the Dorothy Wizard of Oz thing and it seems they have bows. And then I'll put like a little tiny heel on it, like this. There. Yeah, this feels more like something she would wear. Echo Aurora connection is just insane, like at least one person on the dev team has to have thought of that. It's, yeah, I'm sure there's like definitely some of the devs are thinking of this stuff. I also think that the, so both Echoes of Wisdom and Cadence of Hyrule are very clearly intended to be in the gap between Triforce Heroes and Zelda 1, in that they both reference the Golden Age quite a bit. So I think the similarities there kind of come from both of those, and they also are both trying to reference Breath of the Wild, so that is where like the racial similarities come in, you know, like the Gerudo showing up again, things like that. So you can see like both games being made after Breath of the Wild became super popular, but like also aiming for a specific spot on the Zelda timeline, having a lot of similarities. And then that spot on the Zelda timeline is the one that Aurora came from, so any similarities there are kind of just based on that. Like, I don't know if the Echo-Aurora connection was necessarily thought of by the devs, but they are aiming for the specific time series point in which Aurora is supposed to have originated from. I don't think it's ever going to be canon, though. I wish it was, but it's not. And the main evidence for that is that if it had been canon, we would have seen Aurora's brother. We would have seen Echo's brother. He's the one character from Adventure of Link that we know exists. It's canon to me. Yeah, I like the fact that in the Zelda fandom, you can kind of like... The fandom itself, like the sort of information you get access to is so different, I guess, like varied, that you can kind of pick and choose which parts you like and use whatever. I appreciate that. I think it makes for like a really good experience as a fan. Same thing with Legend of, or not Legend of Zelda, with Lord of the Rings. Especially the Silmarillion, where there's like so many different versions of canon that you can kind of pick and choose and end up with whatever you feel like. That gives people a lot of control over whatever they choose to believe in, and I like that. I think that's fun. One of them interesting experiences. The original style looked like a Mary Jane, while these look like they have heels. The Mary Janes feel more witchy than heels. I actually don't know what a Mary Jane is. I'm gonna look that up. Mary Jane... shoe? Mary Jane shoes. Yeah, this is what I was thinking about. Okay, yeah. I didn't know that was a name. I know this type of shoe. This is the exact type of shoe I was going for, but I didn't end up going with because it's also a little bit too much effort. I've sort of merged them. Here. It's like a midpoint between those two. Okay, there we go. There are 3 fanfics that to you are basically canon. Apologies, AU to Kirby, Wisdom Verse, and Finders Keepers for MMZX. So is that like a Mega Man thing? Maybe? And only one of them is actually canon compliant, lol. Such is the way of the world. Okay. Alright. We've got a decent outline for a maple. Shadows first or Fable first? Fable first. Let's go do some Fable. Yeah, I definitely do the same thing where not necessarily believing that the fic is canon, but I do pick out like a fic. Usually for my fandoms, I'm like, oh, this is like the best fic I've ever seen. Whoa, so good. Not that other fics aren't good, but like I'll be like, this one's a good one. I could probably still list them all. Oh my gosh. Wait, hold on. Let's see. How many do I remember off the top of my head? Oh, highly recommend for any Octopath fans in chat. If you have played both Octopath 1 and 2, because major spoilers for both, highly recommend Starfall. It is the best Octopath fic I have seen. It's so good. It's amazing. Really, really good. Top tier. The premise is super interesting too. The Octopath 1 characters wake up alongside their Octopath 2 counterparts, except for Cyrus. Who instead of waking up with Oswald, wakes up with Harvey. And the others are all trying to figure out what's going on. They all get involved in each other's stories. It's great. It's like a novelization of Octopath 2, but like way better because also the 1 characters are involved and the story is changing and things are different. Except it is all canon compliant still, up to a certain point. It's great. Highly recommend. I think I need to clean up this a little. There. Ah. I don't know if people here have made this mistake while drawing before, but sometimes you forget to like clear in the white of the eyes, and then you change the background and the eye just turns a different color. This is the thing that keeps happening. It's not a fanfic, it's a polished adaptation. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've seen fics before that are sometimes more well-written than their source counterparts. Like, I mean, it happens. Sometimes the source isn't trying to be well-written in the same way, right? Which gives, like, fic authors more time to do things. There. Someone wrote a full novelization of Fire Emblem Awakening too, back in the day. That one was pretty good. Invisible Ties, I believe. I remember reading it through all the way once. It's quite good. A lot of the old famous fics in the day. Not that I was around when, like, all the first fanfics were being written or anything, but you know. Okay, there. And then maybe a little less chibi, I guess. There. Is the ear too big? Is this a problem that I'm gonna have to fix later? I have to fix everything now before I start properly doing outlines. Or else bad things will happen and everything will look terrible. Maybe the face is too far forward. I gotta move it back a little, I think. Let's see if that works. Face might be too small. Wonder if you could sell regular pencils as left-handed pencils for a 50% markup. At 25 cents per pencil, I'll be rich in no time, right? That's an idea. Come back to me when you're a millionaire. The Simpsons did it, did they? That sounds like something the Simpsons would do. Tend to draw elf or elf-adjacent characters with big ol' ears. Yeah, true. It just looks right that way. Okay, there. Got that pointy witch nose. What hasn't The Simpsons done at this point? The Simpsons is like super long running, right? It's been going on for ages. I don't even know how long The Simpsons has been around. Okay. Okay, I like this so far. Can we add in a Fable? Nose is still maybe a problem. I'm just not used to, like, combining the chibi style with this type of nose. But it has to be pointy. It has to. "34 seasons? Holy shit." Oh my gosh. Can't believe. The first episodes were shorts in 1989. Whoa. I didn't know The Simpsons was nearly as old as the Legend of Zelda series. "36, oh my gosh, 36 seasons? Holy shit. There. Okay, slightly more curved. I think that works. Maybe. Slightly more curved, but still pointy. Because Fable doesn't have a nose. Okay, on to the Fable. Oh, you got Etzel. Etzel the Pretzel. Etzel is like a mage character from, I think, FE12, I want to say? Yeah, FE12. He's like Canis, but if Canis was in Arcania. For the people who know who Canis is. Kinda sad because they've refused to replace the voice actors and some of them are shells of their former self. Yikes, oh gosh. I guess that's a problem with like any long-running show, right? Like, technically, One Piece had the same issue. Although they are replacing some of the voice actors now in the original One Piece anime, like the Japanese voice actors. I know Frankie has been replaced due to medical concerns. So I think they're probably going to go through and replace some of the older folks, maybe. It's sad, but, you know, you kind of have to. I think good voice actors can keep like the same voice going for quite a long time, but at some point, you know, they deserve to actually take a break at some point. Probably like after 30 years of doing the same show, you'd be like, well... Of course, the originals are legends, but geez, move on. Like, some of them actually still sound great, you know, but I just feel like they want to take a break, probably. Like, no, maybe not. I don't know. I feel like they deserve a break. Yeah, sometimes you gotta pass the torch on. True, true. Some actors don't want to be one character their entire career. Yeah, yeah. Same thing with like actual actors, right? Like, I'm not too familiar with actors, but we know like, I don't know, Daniel Radcliffe, for example. Like, you look at him and you're like, that's Harry Potter. He has done a lot of other pieces, though. But he kind of probably knows at this point, like, the only thing he's going to be, like, super well known for is just Harry Potter. As a professional musician, I would not want to play the same gig your entire... Yeah, exactly. I actually haven't seen Daniel Radcliffe in any of the other movies he's acted in, but I've heard very good things about it. Like, apparently he's really good. Wait, Mark Hamill was Fire Lord Ozai? What? Can we give her a nose? Would that look weird? It might. Yes, she was. I mean, yes, he was. Holy shit. Did not know that. Now he gets to say, I am your father. I'm sure I'm not the first person to make that joke. He isn't interested in playing Luke Skywalker in an anime? Are they making an animated Luke Skywalker then? Like, are they animating Star Wars again? Didn't they already do that? I don't know. I'm a science fiction fan, but for some reason I think Star Wars, I just never... I've only seen a few of the movies. I've seen, let's see. I've seen, like, the first two. Like, I've seen the prequels. And then I think I've seen number 4. And then I don't think I've seen 5 and 6. I saw 7. Oh, I've seen all 3 of the prequels, I think. Yeah, because I remember what happens, at least. I don't know if I know it from memes or if I've actually seen it. Yeah, I would say space western is like a subgenre of science fiction. I agree with you, Mars. I'm actually a fan of space westerns too, though. Like, I can't be like, oh, I don't like space westerns, so I don't like it, because I do love space westerns. Trigun is one of my favorite things. Firefly is one of my favorite things. Yeah, it's like a very fantasy-coded sci-fi. Sci-fi aesthetic, fantasy rules, essentially. And I'm fine with that. I do like that, actually. Heck yeah, Firefly. Hey, Firefly lovers in the chat, let's go. Do love me some Firefly. I'm a huge fan of science fiction, but for some reason I read a lot of sci-fi books, and then I watch a lot of fantasy content, I think. And I also play a lot of fantasy games. Like, I don't really play sci-fi games. Also, Great Decline plot is just Revenge of the Sith, but in Zelda. Oh, is it? I wouldn't know. Which one is Revenge of the Sith again? Like, what number is that? Like the opposite, like watching sci-fi, but like to read fantasy? Ah, interesting. I mean, I do have my exceptions every now and then, I will admit. Like, I did watch Firefly, you know, and it was good. It was really good. And I've read all the Sanderson stuff, or I've read all the Cosmere stuff, but not all the Sanderson stuff. I've read anything that's Cosmere related. Revenge of the Sith is episode 3. Ah, oh, the Anakin one? Oh. Oh, it's like, are you comparing Anakin to the Prince, I'm assuming? Yeah, I like that. I like that. Oh, I think I saw that in the tags of your post, Mob. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm not naming the Prince Anakin, by the way. Nice try. That was a good joke, though. They call me the downfall timeline, the way everyone gets sad when they acknowledge my existence. That's a good one. Oh, you mean he isn't interested in playing the character at all anymore? Okay, yeah, makes sense. Autocorrect changed any more to anime. I was like, oh, is there like an anime or something? Like, I'd believe it. It's Revenge of the Sith, but Anakin has a sister that kills Palpatine before he fully turns. It's Revenge of the Sith, except Rey is there, and she's competent, and people like her, and then she kills Palpatine, and they don't do all that plot twist stuff. People, like, ended up not liking Rey, right? Yeah, I remember the montage thing. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I am learning about Star Wars. Not one of my interests, I will admit, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Lots of good Star Wars content out there. I just don't know it. I think I've read like a decent number of old sci-fi books. Pretty much the only one I couldn't get into was Dune. Just somehow couldn't find myself to be a fan of it. I don't know why. There are people who didn't like Rey from the beginning, but people do be having opinions. I think like by the end, people were like, no, why would you do this, right? Like this was the vibe that I got from friends who went and watched it. Most of it was like, what the frick is this? It's like the Game of Thrones ending, the way like I didn't experience the Game of Thrones ending because I haven't watched Game of Thrones. But what I did see was many Game of Thrones fans coming into like the Lord of the Rings subreddits and such and being like, yo guys, our ending sucked. And I was like, oh, rip, it feels bad. Oh, the plot was terrible, not Rey's fault. Okay, so apparently they wrote Rey pretty well. Maybe, I don't know, I hope so. She was cool. It's nice to see a female protagonist, you know, every now and then. Like, not in like a yay, woke, acceptance way, but in like a, oh nice, cool, that's neat type of way. Like, I wouldn't have minded. If they were another guy, I would not have minded. Kind of like in JoJo when like Jolene shows up and I'm like, oh neat. We're switching it up a little. Or in like Doctor Who, I guess they did that, right? I stopped watching Doctor Who before the 13th Doctor, but I think the 13th Doctor is like a woman. But then I heard the writing was really bad for that one, so people didn't like it, not because of the character, but because the writing was so bad, and then, yeah. You went to see the second movie in the sequel trilogy in theaters, and one of your friends fell asleep. Holy shit. Was it that bad? Oh my gosh. Although, to be fair, I have a friend who will fall asleep, like, anywhere, in any movie. Even if he likes it. He's just out. Raised tainted by the movies themselves, okay. Rip. Poor girl, she did nothing wrong. Ray did nothing wrong. You heard it here first. The Last Jedi, right? I think. Last movie was the worst by far. Oh no. Don't remember much of the movie yourself because you were kind of bored. Yeah, I mean, even if people liked it, right? Sometimes you are just looking at a movie and you're like, this is not my movie. Like, I don't know if people here have seen The Boy and the Heron, which is one of them Miyazaki movies, but like the recenter ones. And that movie, I think, kind of like pissed me off almost with like how less I understood of it. Like, I was just kind of sitting there and I'm like, why is any of this happening? What the frick is going on? Who is the heron? Why is he in the title? He's not useful. He's just there. You watched it, it was fun. The animation is stellar, don't get me wrong, but like Miyazaki's not doing the animation, he's like writing the story, right? So I feel like I want to go up to Hayao Miyazaki and be like, okay, listen, like what was going through your mind? Like, why are we having this happen? What does it mean? And I think he'd probably just be like, it doesn't mean anything, like just freaking pay attention to the plot and like have fun. And I'm like, no, I want to know, what does it mean? What movies are we talking about? Yo, Super Slick, we're talking about, let's see, movies that the writing cannot save the good characters. Like the plot is so bad that you're like, oh my god, really? I have a friend who was really into Star Wars, and he was telling me something about, like, there is a canon son of Luke, wait, no, not Luke, of Han Solo and, Leia. And, like, that guy is, like, better or something, or maybe not canon, maybe he was in, like, some side spin-off or something, but he was, like, good and people liked him, and then they, like, got rid of him. Saw that movie, it was super pretty, and after taking a moment to think out the plot, I was confused. Yeah, that's... What is going on? Apparently the title in Japanese of The Boy and the Heron is not The Boy and the Heron, which makes sense because the heron is completely useless to the plot. Like, there is a heron, but like, you kind of, and you start asking like, oh, okay, who is this heron guy? Are we gonna like get more info on him? But you do not. The heron guy shows up, reveals himself to be an old man wearing a heron's dead body as a suit, and then kind of just fades out of the plot line. Like, this is... Oh, the other Skywalker son was like canon? Okay, cool. Neat. I've heard good things about him, but I guess, yeah, everyone has their own opinion. Convinced that Star Wars had a timeline split after The Force Awakens. Episode 8 and 9 are completely disconnected. Oh. Really? And they're both bad? Oh no. Oh wait, yeah, I remember someone telling me that like there was a different director for both movies, maybe? Something like that. Oh, this is Galaxy. This music is from Galaxy. This is so from Galaxy. Has this all been from Galaxy? I think it is. Yeah, are we on a different Galaxy playlist? We are! Hey! We've somehow made it to a Galaxy playlist. The best thing to come out of the sequels is an undercover boss skit starring Kylo, Leia and Han's son. Oh? I've enjoyed this music. It reminds me of better times. Of days long past when the world was good and Galaxy reigned supreme. Back when 3D Marios were the best thing ever. And they still are, so really. The best thing to come out of the sequels is that everyone suddenly thought maybe the prequels weren't so bad. Yeah, no, wait. Okay, so being in the Lord of the Rings fandom, the best thing to come out of the Rings of Power series is that people started going, wait, maybe The Hobbit wasn't so bad, actually. And I'm like, yes, thank you. The Hobbit are good movies, I promise. They just did some things wrong. Like, yes, there are things they could fix, however... Oh, does Luke Skywalker get wrecked? I don't remember that. But okay, legit. Of completely unknown causes? Oh, they just yeet him off screen? Episode 8 has Pokemon? I'm getting more and more confused. What? What the frick? It's hard to beat the original trilogy for both Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. I actually really like the Star Wars prequels. I will admit, I've never seen the, I've only seen movie 4 out of the many other, there's like 4, 5, 6, right? I've only seen 4 in Star Wars. And I kind of like the prequels more than 4, I'm gonna admit. Like 4 is old, you know? It doesn't hold up as well, and I watched all of them as like a full-grown adult, like pretty recently. So, It's like Ocarina of Time, where like I understand that for its era it was something insane and like it was one of the most like groundbreaking things anyone could have done, but it doesn't hold up as much because other things have now done what it does but better. Which is fine, it's not like a bad thing about the thing, you know, it's just like times have changed, things are different. What am I gonna do about Fable's mouth is the question. Once saw a post about a Hobbit toy featuring Legolas and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hey, Obi-Wan is in the book for as long as Legolas is. Hilarious. I'm actually, like, that's not something people should have been complaining about, honestly. Like, I'm genuinely surprised, and I was back in the day too, by the way. Like, I was a Lord of the Rings fan long before the Hobbit movies came out. When the Hobbit movies were coming out, people were like, why are they putting Legolas in here? Legolas isn't in the Hobbit books. And I'm like, yeah, but he's the Prince of Mirkwood. Like, when Tolkien wrote this, he didn't even have Legolas in mind as a character, but he is the Prince of the Kingdom that the Hobbits do canonically run through. Of course he'd be there. I don't think that's a problem at all. The problem is, like, the weird Tauriel-Keeley romance. Like, that they could have definitely taken out. And also, suddenly, like, Gandalf is simping for Galadriel. Like, Galadriel, you are married. You have a husband. Literally, Galadriel's name is only Galadriel because her husband gave her that name. It means, like, Lady of Light. Everybody, like, completely just, like, wrecks on poor Galadriel's husband. Celeborn is a good guy, okay? We like our Celeborns. Like the prequels, but in terms of storytelling, world building, and such, the original 3 stand up amazingly well. Oh, okay, alright. I probably just haven't seen 5 and 6, so I can't comment on it. I feel like in number 4, I was like, okay, yep, that's a movie about a guy destroying a spaceship, and that's cool. But, like, I mean, you know, it's your pretty generic hero story. Of course, it was the originator of all the hero stories, but hero's journey, you know. Just thinking the same thing about Tauriel and Keeley. Yeah, okay, fun fact. Tauriel in the whole Hobbit movies, because I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan, Tauriel in the Hobbit movies has red hair. Which is actually really weird because elf hair colors matters a little bit more than you would think. Like, there are hair colors that only kind of exist in certain races sometimes. You know, like it does in the real world. Like, you're not gonna find too many brown ginger people, you know, it'd be like a little bit more rare, you know. As a brown person, I can say this. So, like, when Tauriel showed up having red hair, I was like, what? That's a Noldorin hair color. And I know this doesn't mean anything for, like, most people here, but the Noldorin people are from across the ocean, and they commit lots of mass murders, and they're my favorite race. And they're the engineers, essentially. So she's like a forest elf, but with, like, the hair color and, like, speech patterns kind of a little bit of, like, one of the engineering elves from across the ocean. Wait, your hair is not naturally purple? Of course it is. What are you talking about? Obviously, all brown people have purple hair instead. It's only red hair you don't see. Of course it is. Of course it is. Of course not. Be cool if that was a thing, though, wouldn't it? Oh, yeah, no, it's a generic hero story does not have to be bad, too. Never a bad thing, never a bad thing. I don't think it's bad, I just think other things have done what it does, but better. Same thing with Ocarina of Time, where it's like a very good game, top-tier game. It started all the things that it did, like, it was the first. But after that, other things have kind of done the same thing. Versus, like, Majora's Mask, which... I haven't seen anything else do what Majora's Mask does better than Majora's Mask does it. A wizard did it meme. A wizard never dyes his hair late or early. He always dyes it precisely when he means to. Yeah, I'm gonna come back as Linda White someday. Is that allowed? Can I say that without getting cancelled? It's a Lord of the Rings reference, I promise. I'm making a reference. MM is just too good. It is. It totally is. George Lucas openly said that he got that Space Western Farm Boy Saves Galaxy premise from Flash Gordon. Oh, I didn't know that. I don't even know what Flash Gordon is. Yo, Marionette in here with the sneak hair dye redeem. What the? Oh my gosh. Marionette has somehow secretly saved up 100,000 points and has redeemed it for Lord of the Rings Linda White. All right. Okay. Challenge accepted. I will have to... That's actually harder, and I will do my best. I will do my best. It won't be right now, of course. Such is the way of hair dye. But one of the future streams I will do with white dyed hair. That'll be fun. You know, I have actually kind of wondered before what would have happened if I'd made my hair color white. I do like the white, like, white hair, brown skin aesthetic. You know, a lot of characters have that. Because it's a good aesthetic. Okay, there. Outlining is hard. I hate outlining. This sucks. Fable's face doesn't have enough detail in it. How do I add more detail without necessarily adding a nose? Do I have to add a nose? It's easy to save up money when you don't gamble. Hilarious. I mean, hey, you can also save up money to gamble. Blush lines on Fable? Ooh, I like that. Yeah, gambling is fun. Agreed, agreed. Look, I put in the gambling mechanic for you people to interact with it too. Feel free to do both, by the way. You can either, like, secret save and get yourself a hair dye. Or you can risk it all. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, I think she's not supposed to be blushing, I think. I think it doesn't fit as much. I'm gonna have to come up with... Do I have to give her a nose? Maybe I can take away Maple's nose. Does Maple need a nose? She didn't need a nose. There. That's a nose. Ah. I think this is kind of fine. I'm actually gonna keep this. I think this is okay. I love her smiling face. A one vote for smiling face. One day, oh yeah, there will come a day when I will save enough for the 100k redeem. But the gacha calls forth, and it is not this day. This day we gamble. Started playing A Link to the Past again. Hey! Finally beat the Helmasaur King. Hey! As time's gone on, only grown to appreciate it more, and it's up there on the list of favorite 2D Zelda games. Yes, A Link to the Past genuinely still holds up. Despite being one of the first games of its scope, it still does a better job at, like, especially the whole Dark World, Light World thing, like the shenanigans that ensue when you get to transfer between both equally. Genuinely still does a better job than many of the upcoming games. That said, Oracle of Ages, if people liked A Link to the Past to play Oracle of Ages, it's a similar experience and it's quite good. But the thing is, unlike with Majora and Ocarina, I cannot say that Oracle of Ages is strictly better than A Link to the Past. It is just too good. ALTTP was simply just too good. Oracle of Ages is different, but it's not necessarily better. Could have hair dyed a second time again if I hadn't given 100k away to the gambler. Marionette out here saving despite also gambling. Such is the way. Yeah, I think Mesa's still gonna win the overall set of hair dye things for quite a bit. Back in the day, folks, when there wasn't gambling on the stream, more people had hair dye redeems. Back in the olden days. Yeah, Mesa has redeemed like at least 2 hair dyes, I think, and I still need to remake those in the new system so that I can put them as a redeem. I did say I would do that for Nest of the Larks too. I'm thinking of including like a redeem where you can have me switch hair dye for like 5 minutes for any of the older hair dyes. It'll still cost a lot because it is like a cosmetic change, but I'm thinking of including that in there. Because we still have here, like I'll give you a freebie for Nest of the Larks pink hair dye redeem. I can turn it on, can't I? Yeah, we have this one. The Link to the Past one. If I can turn all of my redeems into that, although it is harder to do them that way, it's easier to do them like the way I was doing before where I just edit the textures directly. It's a little harder to make them like toggleable with the button. I kind of wish they had a thing. Does anyone who's used VTube Studio know if they have a thing for that? I want to be able to change the underlying texture, like just swap out the texture in like as a whole with a button. If they let me do that, I would appreciate it greatly, but I don't think they do, so I've looked it up. Yeah, it's a problem. TP is a more cinematic game with a grittier aesthetic. Oh, I don't think Twilight Princess or Skyward or any of those does more than Ocarina necessarily, although I can agree that it kind of tries to, yeah, at least. Aimed at being a more complex narrative than Ocarina. Yeah, I mean, Ocarina was like the first proper like 3D game, you know? I gotta give it like massive credit for that. Some VTubers have things like costume changes and color changes and stuff. Do they do that with textures though? They probably just have like full-on animations that they animate in Live 2D. The problem is I'm using the free versions of every software involved because I don't have money. So, so all of my stuff, I can't actually open my model in Live 2D anymore. I have to just edit the underlying textures, but I'm like, I wrote like rendering software. Like I know how textured mapping works, so it's not hard, but like I can do that. The problem is I can't interface with the software anymore because it's like, you must pay and get the full version. Let me look it up, actually. I'm curious. VTube Studio. Button to change texture. Change model textures hot swap. Okay, all right. Here's the solution. It's stupid, but it might work, says this one person randomly. Okay. Oh. Wait, Okay, I think they're literally just putting a script in here. Oh, reload model texture. Hey, okay. There is a button for reloading it. Nice. Okay, I can deal with that. I'm skipping. I'm not gonna listen to their audio. I don't need to know that. I just need to know the edits. Okay. Yeah, they're literally just writing a script. Okay. That's hilarious. I can do that. It's pretty easy, actually. But I have to set it up. Ugh. I don't want to set it all up. Maybe I'll do that later. That might be an easier way than just doing the editing manually in the VTube software, because it's kind of boring that way. Okay, alright. I can do that. I can write a renaming script. Yeah. Okay, I can even think of the way I would make that work. Yeah, let's take a look at their file. What are they doing here? Nice. Done. Yeah, I'll have to change that later. Orion's belt is a big waste of space. I know it's a terrible joke. Just 3 stars. No, so many layers. I appreciate you changing the blush. Feel like artists default to blushing even if it doesn't fit. Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes. I think in terms of the character here, I feel like I feel like Fable is not the one who is blushing. Fable is shameless. Fable is like laying the charisma on. She knows exactly what she wants. Fable externally is just having a pleasant conversation, but internally she's like, by the end of the day, Maple will know. And then Maple is like, ah! Completely random from the conversation, but finished the Dressrosa arc in One Piece. Hey! Yes, please do swap from watching it to reading it. This is the correct decision. I have not watched all of One Piece, but I have definitely read all of One Piece. And I have heard many things about the Dressrosa arc specifically in the anime. Apparently they repeat a lot of stuff. Apparently they showed like certain flashbacks so many times that people were like, yo, what the frick, just move on with the story. Pretty close to being your favorite post-time skip arc. Ooh. Well, you've just finished Dressrosa. Okay, there's like one arc after that, like a kind of short arc after that, and then like another long one after that, and that one has to be like probably maybe my favorite post-time skip arc actually. So don't worry. The best is yet to come. Oh yeah, for the One Piece folks, I did mention this at the beginning of stream, but it bears repeating because it's so fun and cool and fun and interesting. The live-action One Piece Netflix show has announced their look for Chopper, which is such a point of contention that I was like a little scared. You know what I mean? I was like, is it gonna look like really shitty? And the answer is no, actually. It doesn't look that bad. It could have definitely been worse. My standards were maybe low. But like, yeah, the new Chopper look for the live action has a very Paddington Bear-esque appearance. Like, me and my friend who were watching it were like, that kind of looks like Paddington Bear. And then, like, we looked it up online and, like, comments on Reddit were like, that kind of looks like Paddington Bear. And I'm like, I know. And then somebody's like, oh, by the way, the team that worked on Paddington Bear might be working on this. And we're like, oh, that explains it. Did explain why Ocarina still has a lot of appeal, even if other games expanded on what it is. There isn't really a game like Ocarina. Oh, did I not read the whole thing? Hold on, let me go back. Okay, Twilight Princess is a more cinematic game with a grittier aesthetic and aimed at being a more complex narrative than what Ocarina did, and Skyward tries to give an origin to almost everything in the world of Zelda, and as such feels the most different in location, setting, and premise. Yes, true. The gameplay, too, of Skyward. Although, the thing about the gameplay of Skyward is that it was actually more contentious than they had expected. I actually really liked it. I will admit, I'm a fan of the non-traditional Zelda gameplays. Considering that I started off with Phantom Hourglass, which is a non-traditional Zelda gameplay, I feel like I can't really get mad at Skyward. And I really enjoyed Skyward. Like, come on, man, it's awesome to be able to take the Wii remote in your hand and swash across the screen and, like, kill the monsters. It's so cool. I loved it. Yeah, he does look a little cursed because of his eyes. This is true. The Chopper, I mean. I think it was less the eyes and more the voice direction for me. Because I felt like they went really, like, hard on, like, on child voice. Like, they went in on, like, sounding like a 6-year-old. And Chopper, despite being really neurotic and, like, definitely a young kid, he's still a competent doctor, so I'm curious to see how they're gonna pull off that aspect of his character. Yeah, there's a little bit of uncanniness with how he looks, but the thing is, honestly, live-action Chopper, and also, like, in the manga Chopper, is supposed to be called a monster by the people, and, you know, I think that kind of does fit. Someone pointed that out in the Reddit comments, where they're like, yeah, people are supposed to think Chopper is creepy, and I'm like, that's a good point. That is actually canon accurate. Like, if you think of it like that, like, he's supposed to be cute but a little bit creepy, then yeah, I guess they've done a good job, actually. Yeah, I'm wondering if the voice actor can also display the sort of intellect and, like, quick wit that Chopper brings. Like, he's very, very naive, but he is smart. He's like low-whiz, high-int character. But I might just also be used to the Japanese voice actor, and that could be a problem, so. Chopper's your favorite One Piece character, so maybe you're a little biased. Yeah, my favorite character is Robin. I'm pretty biased myself. But they picked an amazing actress to play Robin. I'm looking forward to that. Haven't watched One Piece outside the 4Kids dub back in the day. Ah, yeah, the 4Kids dub. I've heard legends. Tales of the 4Kids. Wish they went with early design Chopper? Nah, that would have been even creepier. Like, early design Chopper translated to live action would have been a little too much on the edge. I think they kind of just hit the nail on how much creepiness we can put up with in a character. If they'd gone a little bit more creepy than that, I feel like it would have not sold merchandise. Yeah, same, actually. Like, see, this is the thing. Like, I wouldn't have thought of it unless I saw that one Reddit comment where someone was like, yeah, Chopper's supposed to be a bit of a cryptid. And I'm like, yeah, good point. It's easy to forget because he's so adorable and so smart and so cool. I love Chopper. He's one of the best. I mean, I love everybody in the One Piece. I have no issues with any of the One Piece cast. I think my one issue with the One Piece cast, like, is post-time skip, Zoro hasn't had any moments of levity. And also in the live action, Zoro hasn't had any moments of levity. So I would appreciate that. That's like the one thing I'm missing. Early Zoro would, like, you know, kind of mess around with people when he did. But nowadays he does not anymore. Bit further up than that. Oh, didn't see it then. Ocarina is a purest experience. You have no Wolf Link, no masked forms, nothing to pose as a gimmick. It's just a good adventure title and it doesn't really need anything else to sell itself. Yeah, true. It's a good point. It's a good point. No gimmick. The gimmick is the 3D. The gimmick is like, hey, look at that, guys. You can move around in 3D space. Get wrecked. But the thing is, because the like main gimmick is being in 3D, there are other 3D games that have now done it better, right? And that's not a problem with Ocarina. It's just like, you know, technology has improved. People have more time. People have built off of the base that was Ocarina and made other things now. Yeah, they made LA Zoro act a little bit more like post-time skip. Yes, I agree. He does have that vibe. Every edgy sword fighter deserves some moments of levity. Zoro definitely used to get them, yeah. The Skypiea arc is one of my favorites for that reason. They all go to a sky island, for the folks who are unfamiliar with One Piece. The characters all go to like an island in the sky and they're like exploring this vast cloud network with like jungles and stuff on top of it, while this man who calls himself God is trying to kill them. And the God guy starts up like a sort of death game with all the people who are invading this one specific island in the sky that's made of real Earth instead of clouds. And throughout the death game, all the characters are scrambling across the island trying to defeat people of the opposite factions and keep their own people alive. And then Zoro like does this whole Tarzan thing where he like jumps on a vine and goes like, no, in order to jump and swing on this vine to the next part, we gotta like, you gotta shout. Yeah, you gotta do the Tarzan yell. He like shouts it, it's so good. I love the bit where like, so there's 4 characters, I think Zoro's one of them. Zoro, Chopper, Luffy, and Robin. And they're all trying to get from like one side of the island to the other side of the island, right? Which you would think is not that hard to do. They're just supposed to go directly east. And then like the map kind of zooms out and it shows like 4 icons on the map. And like, it looks like this here. So it's like character 1, character 2, character 2, character 3, characters. You have like Luffy, you have Robin, you have, actually I should put them in joke order. You have Robin, you have Luffy, you have Chopper, you have Zoro, right? And they're all just supposed to be heading east. And then like the map will be like, and then they all headed directly east. And like Robin goes east because she's Robin and she knows what she's doing. Luffy has kind of no clue what he's doing, but he like heads off in like a direction. Like he kind of goes like a little bit like this. And it's like, it's probably okay. Chopper starts going east, but then he gets scared by something and he loops back around, and then he gets even more scared and he loops back, and suddenly he's like kind of over here somewhere. He's just kind of freaking off in the corner. And then Zoro, who doesn't know what east is, he starts going east, but then he's like, oh, east means to the right, right? And then he goes east. and then he goes east, and then he goes east, and he just keeps going east. And it's like, it's so good. The whole meme of like Zoro getting lost is my favorite thing. If they get to Skypiea, they better have Luffy sing his little song. Like the little pineapple song. It was so cute. I haven't seen much One Piece, but I have seen that specific part. There's a lot of One Piece memes that have escaped confinement, as well they should. Because One Piece is a really funny story. If you keep going east, eventually you would find what you're... No, I mean... No, the problem is he's not going east. You need the visuals for that one. So like he thinks east is going right. So he like starts heading east, but then he turns 90 degrees and then he keeps going in quotation marks east, but like now he's going south. And then he turns 90 degrees again and continues going east, but like now he's going west. Just happened to be in the room when someone else was watching that part. That's a good part to stay for. In the game One Piece Odyssey, you can swap between all the Straw Hats, and Zoro is the only one without a mini-map in the corner of the screen. Well, now we know why he gets lost all the time. It's not his fault. The devs of One Piece just didn't give him the mini-map. Oh, that's incredible. Yeah, he's effectively walking in like weird rectangles that get progressively smaller or larger because he also doesn't turn at like intervals. Like he goes like, so I was drawing this before here, I'll draw it again for you. He goes like this and then kind of like out and then like inwards a little and then like he's just going. There's another really good One Piece meme where the characters come across a zombie, okay? Like there's graveyard, spooky vibes, eternal night, people on the island that are stitched together, pieces of various different monsters like Frankenstein, or Frankenstein's monster, but you know what I mean. Point is, they come across a zombie, okay? And like, the old man zombie character thing like jumps out of a grave and he's like, ah. And then like all the characters are just very unimpressed and Luffy walks forward and he just kind of takes the old man by the shoulders and just puts him back in the grave and like closes the grave again. He's like, there you go. Go back to sleep. And then he just keep walking on. And the zombie gets up and he's like, yo, what the frick? You're supposed to be scared. Get out of here. Again, that would eventually find what you're looking for. No, I mean, like let's assume here, okay, here it is. Let's assume they're supposed to be going here, right? Like this is the intended pathway. And Robin gets here and the direction is here, right? Zoro is here and he's kind of like doing this, but he's not actually really heading in the right direction either. Like technically, yes, if he like went long enough in the correct direction, he'd get there, but he doesn't. He just kind of goes like this. And then, oh yeah, and then there's the bird. And then a giant bird picks him up, and more shenanigans occur. He's not left to wander for too long because other things will frick him up, but yeah. Zoro is me, somehow always ending up in Farron while playing Echoes of Wisdom. Fun fact, I got lost in the Farron map in Skyward Sword, which is the starting map. You would think I would be a little better than this. But I was not. My skills were sorely tested on that one day. Heck. There. Alright, okay, cool. We have done some outlines. I'm kind of unsatisfied with the face. See, this is one of those things. The problem with like doing some sort of animation is that if I fix anything, I better fix it now, or else it's gonna be a problem down the line. I'm gonna have to fix it 4 times over. Whatever it is I need to fix has to be fixed now. So what do I do with Fable's face? It's because she doesn't have eyebrows, I think. I'm gonna give her eyebrows. That's too thick. That's too thick. How do eyebrows work? The juxtaposition between the two groups in Thriller Bark, yeah. So the 3 characters who get terrified more than anyone else get into the island of spooky, scary horror stuff first, and they're just screaming and running from absolutely everything. And then like the 5 rest of the crew people just walk in, And they're like, oh, a zombie, hey! Oh, look, a tree that like talks and moves and is stitched together out of like various parts of skin, hey! They find like a three-headed dog made of like Frankenstein corpse parts and they're like, hey! And Luffy tries to like befriend it. Here. Eyebrows aren't real. You've heard it here first, folks. Yeah, pre-time skip comedy was amazing. They also, I will admit, pre-time skip had some really good character moments too. Highly recommend One Piece, genuinely. If anyone here reads manga at all, even if you don't, live action exists now. Cosmic horror from normal people's perspective versus cosmic horror from a fictional character's perspective. Yeah, pretty much. Like, the rest of the crew is just kind of used to this. Yeah, he tries to tame it. It bites him. He beats it into submission. Yeah, that was the only arc that Frankie actually got to use any of his pre-time skip powers in. Which kind of sucks. Like, I think he hasn't done that since. Remember when he could do, like, super fast, quick construction? Like, my dude was just building bridges into, like, midair. That was a thing once. They forgot about that post-time skip. Maybe something like this? Yeah, I guess this kind of helps. I don't know. I feel like eyebrows are still definitely off. The problem is that Maple has more features than Fable. This is a problem. How do I add them? Oh, if only I had a consistent drawing style. I do not. I can add like a dot for a nose. Maybe. Maybe a kind of like triangle-ish thing, you know? To invoke a sense of shade. Or maybe I go like full, like... Can I do this? Would it look good? Actually, yeah, that kind of looks okay. I'm alright with this. Highly recommend the dub of One Piece. Oh, really? Wow, okay. Oh, I've only seen the... so I have actually seen parts of the anime. Haven't seen the whole thing, but I have seen parts of it. And I really like the original, I will admit. Never heard the dub, though. I could be wrong. Maybe the dub is also good. Original is also very good, though. Highly recommend that. Okay, there. I have added nose. This actually kind of fixes it, I think. Okay, I feel like also the eyes are maybe a little off-center. Maybe I go up on one eye a little bit. Yeah. She's like tilting her head a little more. This is cuter. Ah! Oh no. Okay. Ah! Come back. Selection empty, what do you mean? Oh, never mind. There. Okay. Yeah, I have watched Yu Yu Hakusho, which is a bit of an older anime, and that one, the dub is so good. I do actually recommend the dub, like, solely over the original, because the dub is amazing. One Piece dub is probably really good too, though, so... But I've seen too much of the original to, like, switch over now, I think. I know all their original voices too well. This was my problem with Chopper, I think. Like, the live-action Chopper's voice is just not as high-pitched and, like, more childlike. Like, it's lower-pitched, but more childlike, and that was a bit strange to me. I was like, yeah, put it higher, put it a little higher. A little higher, please, and then also, like, a little less childlike, please. Yep, just a problem of familiarity. Okay, okay, this is good. Yes, maybe. Is the skin too white? Questions I need to ask. Maybe. I think this is a problem that can be fixed with layers, though, so it's okay. This is fine. Yes, okay. On to the next phase. On to the next phase. Which is lights, camera, action. So, lights. Maybe the lights are a little, like, here, there. Oh, I should do, oh, I should do the lines first, I think, actually. Should I? No, lights first. Take it back. Classic voice actors such as Kid Gohan for Luffy, A. Vegeta for Zoro, A. Krillin for Usopp, A. Future Trunks for Sanji. Wait a minute, this is all Dragon Ball. And Whis for Brook. I actually don't know who Whis is. Who's Whis? That's not Dragon Ball. Yusuke voices Bellamy and Kid. Ah, interesting. Yeah, the Japanese voice cast is like also pretty well known for other roles at this point, I think. I know Zoro voices Hijikata in Gintama, which I find hilarious. They're very similar characters. It makes sense that they would be voiced by the same guy. Spoiler, everything is Dragon Ball. Me when I learned about Sonic. Did you know Sonic is just Dragon Ball? Because I didn't until I learned a little bit more about Sonic, and then I just went, this is Dragon Ball, actually. You've been lied to, friends. Dragon Ball for furries. Whis is the blue guy that follows, oh, Beerus on Super. Okay. I haven't seen, so I've read all of the original Dragon Ball, but I haven't, like, and Dragon Ball Z, obviously, but I haven't read, like, any of the new stuff. I saw a little bit of the Beerus content back when I think there was, like, one movie about it and nothing more. And then I think that was the extent of my Beerus knowledge. I remember Whis, though. I kind of remember what he looks like. I don't know anything about him more than that, but that's it. Yeah, Future Trunks arc was the best. Future Trunk arc was great. We need more Future Trunkses. Future Trunks is kind of just like Lucina-ish, except Lucina, if Lucina could not stay in the world she had come to and had to go back to the other world, but the other world isn't fixed. If that makes sense. Okay. So we've done some lights. I think I must do shadow first to get the rest of this. Let's do them. Yeah, I have heard of this. The Japanese VA for Luffy voices Turbo Granny and Dantadan. Oh boy. Sanji and Zoro also voice. I didn't know that. Yeah, the mental disconnect. I have watched the first few episodes of Dantadan actually. So the weird mental disconnect of viewing the freaking Turbo Granny and like I think she says lines such as like "Let me chop off your dick" and stuff, and that's in like Luffy's voice, and I'm like, what the frick? Wait, this isn't what I expected. Trying to learn how to do like darker shadows. So let's try something like this. Maybe part of it even gets onto Fable. Does that even work? Nose. I think it makes sense for like her whole face to be shaded, but maybe the eyes still kind of pop out a little? Or does that just look creepy? Maybe a little too creepy. Okay, we'll remove some of this. And do something more like this. There. Zoro says, "Give me your banana organ." I mean, to be fair, I was already used to hearing Zoro's voice actor say weird-ass shit, because Hijikata from Gintama, because he's in Gintama, just kind of ends up saying some weird-ass shit. Like, it's Gintama. Everybody's doing weird stuff. Fun fact, the character who voices the main character in Gintama, or the guy who voices the main character in Gintama, whose name is Gintoki, is the same guy who voices Joseph Joestar. And both of those things fit very well. Some of your friends are forcing you to watch Brother Bear. Hey, I have heard about that. I think I've watched the first 5 minutes of Brother Bear, but not any more than that. It's a good movie, apparently. Go have fun, go have fun. Have a good night. Dragon Ball isn't considered part of the big three because it sits higher. Yeah, true. Very true. I think at this point, One Piece is like no longer part of the big three because it sits higher. Like it has sort of outshone, or at least outlasted. I'm a little biased. I think it's outshone Naruto, but that's just my opinion. It does definitely, however, sit above the current three. What's the current big three, actually? I guess I don't really keep up with... I guess some My Hero Academia? Is that still going? Did that finish? Is that done? What else? What else is like a big anime now? I don't even know. Shit. Spy X Family? Is that even like properly a shonen? Yeah, maybe. I guess I'm thinking like Spy X Family, Frieren of the End, Dungeon Meshi, but these aren't like big three, you know? They're not like the big shonen manga. Oh, Chainsaw Man? Yeah. Yeah. Chainsaw Man, maybe, yeah, maybe Academia, Chainsaw Man, and something else. Oh, Dandadan? Oh, Jujutsu Kaisen. Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, and My Hero Academia? Is that even the same era? I don't know, I don't really keep up. Oh, Kaizen's over? Wait, I didn't know that. Frick. Okay, apparently no Kaizen. Wait, the manga for My Hero is also over? Frick, okay, oh gosh, what's left? If you asked me, it would be Undead Unluck, but nobody knows what Undead Unluck is, it's just me. And Undead Unluck is also over. Demon Slayer is still going strong. Okay, alright. Demon Slayer it is, then. That's one. What are the other, like, main shonen mangas of the time? There's gotta be something else. Demon Slayer. What else was, like, popular? Attack on Titan's well, long done. I don't know. Like, I feel like Seven Deadly Sins, Attack on Titan, that was like the last era that I was still kind of like following everything, and then now I've not been following everything. Yeah, I'm counting just manga, like let's assume only manga. Solo Leveling, isn't that a Korean manhwa? I thought that wasn't a manga at all. Is that Japanese? I thought that was Korean. Yeah, like, are we counting Korean media? Like, are we going, like, Tower of God here? Tower of God might also be the previous era. It's Korean, okay, yeah. I think, like, top 3 Korean manhwa, probably, like, Tower of God, probably, like, Solo Leveling. I don't know enough about Solo Leveling, but I've never seen it. Tower of God I have seen. Or, I haven't seen it, I've read it back in the day. Back in the olden days. There's an amazing Korean manhwa called Magician that ended terribly. But it did end. And I would have considered that one of the big 3 if it hadn't ended so badly. Still mad about that. Dun, Chainsaw Man, Spy X Family, or Sakamoto Days. I feel like Spy X Family and Sakamoto Days both are not really... Not Mob Psycho. The guy who acts like Mob Psycho, but he's in a school for mages and he doesn't have magic. Like Harry Potter meets inverse Mob Psycho. What am I thinking of? It starts with an M. Frick. It was good though. Mashal. Does that count? Is Mashal popular enough? Maybe not. Probably not. Black Clover is actually the same principle but done worse in my opinion. I have watched Black Clover. I have watched Mashal. And no, I can't deal with Black Clover, but it's not the fault of the manga author. It is because the voice actor who does the Japanese voice for the main character in Black Clover does this one specific speech quirk that I cannot stand. And I can't deal with it. I tried watching Black Clover so hard. I don't know how or why they decided to do that speech quirk. Everything he says, he shouts, but with a very specific intonation. Like, I wouldn't even be mad if he shouted everything he said. That's not a problem. But he, like, does like this. So he'll be like, I'm gonna go beat everybody up! There's this thing I have to do next! isn't this a really cool thing? And like every sentence ends with that specific intonation and it just pisses me off. I don't know why. Like I got really mad at him and I was like, I can't watch this anymore. So one day I'll go read Black Clover because I've heard it's good. But yeah, I don't know. The voice acting is, I think the voice direction, like it's not the actor's fault either. The voice actor was told that this would be a thing that would be good. So the voice direction, I'm not a fan of. Yeah, if your dad likes Black Clover, I recommend Mashal, by the way. It's really good. It's like more of a comedy. I think Black Clover takes the concept and does it serious. Versus Mashal focuses more on the comedy side for sure. But it's a similar principle too. Like one character in a school of mages doesn't have any magic. And how will he get through everything? In Black Clover, the guy kind of just doesn't get through things, but he like wins with sheer determination. In Mashal, he completes all the challenges, sometimes better than the mages, because he's buff. Like he's really freaking buff. Like he's just really strong and he uses that strength instead of magic. Muscle Mage casts Fist. Yeah, that's the whole plot, and it's actually really well done. It's very, very funny. My one problem with Mashal is that I feel like I wish they would take some things more seriously, actually. But maybe I haven't gone far enough. I think I watched season 1 of the anime, and I thought it was great, but I just haven't gone back to it since then yet. I feel like if they had taken certain things a little more seriously, then we could have some cool drama and, you know, like the stakes would be high and things would be cool, but they do a little bit more focus in comedy, which is fine. It's not really a problem with like the media or anything, it's just my taste. I personally like things to be a little serious sometimes. I like it when media can transition effortlessly back and forth between comedy and seriousness, and that's very difficult to pull off, but some shows do a really good job of it. Gintama is one of those things. Okay. I think we've got some shadows. I'm not sure if I like this nose on Fable either. Gonna have to figure out whether I want to replace that or not. Maybe I just take off the nose, maybe? I don't know. Looks a little... They wouldn't be right, I think, without the nose. Fable from Not Evilise, yeah. Characters without noses. Fable's just gonna be Krillin out here. That's why you like Dandadan. It switches between funny and serious really well. Ah. Yeah, I've seen the first 4 or 2 or 3 or something episodes of Dandadan. It was good. It was good. I think I wasn't like completely drawn in yet, but I haven't watched more than like, you know, 4 episodes is not enough. I wouldn't judge it before I watch a little bit more than that, like, you know. See, Cloud Strife has a nose now, so Not Evilise does contain people with noses. My favorite FF7 party member, Fable. She would enjoy that. I did a thing once where I wrote out every Zelda's favorite video game, like not a Zelda game, obviously. Like they can't pick their own game. I feel like Dot would actually be an RPG player. Fable, I think I put hers as Ace Attorney. Specifically Investigations, and specifically Investigations 2. Because we're doing obscure games out here. And then I think Dusk is probably a Fire Emblem player. Ace Attorney isn't that obscure. Yeah, I know, but like Ace Attorney Investigations 2 is rather obscure. Until recently, because they finally, after 10 years, translated it into English, actually. So now, now the choice is more legit. But back when I chose it for Fable, this was like an Ace Attorney game of a spin-off series of Ace Attorney that hasn't been released outside of Japan. It's the equivalent of FE12. Where, like, people know Marth's first game. People even know that, like, Marth has a second game. People don't know that the second game has a remake and that it's only available in Japan. Still something off about the face. What is the difference? Maybe I do this? Problem is, whatever shadow scheme I come up with here, I have to stick to for the rest of the animation. That sucks. Animation is hard. Animating in color is hard. I could have made this a sketch. Frick. It's too late now. Damn it. I'm like warring with my desire to make things more detailed, but I can't. I must keep it simple. I have to learn. Keep things simple. Definitely not because she comes from a Warriors game, but I feel like Artemis would like Warriors or Tactics games. I actually view... So this is the weird thing. Warriors games are more tactical than Zelda games by default, I agree. But they're less tactical than Fire Emblem, and my experience with the Warriors franchise is from the Fire Emblem Warriors game, Three Hopes. So I always tend to view the Warriors games as more like fighting games. Because they are hack and slash. They're like vaguely tactical hack and slashes. So I think I gave Artemis like League of Legends. Oh, that's true. I didn't do one for Echo and Phantom. Okay, what would Echo's and Phantom's favorite video games be? So for context, Skyward Sword is freaking the thing, Stardew Valley. I think like Sun would love Stardew Valley. Dot, who's from Minish Cap and Four Swords, would like... I think I picked her favorite as Baldur's Gate 3, but she enjoys Overcooked a lot because she gives it to the Four Swords links and watches them completely just die. Lullaby, I think I picked Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Tetra, I picked Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Dusk was Fire Emblem, Path of Radiance, and Radiant Dawn. Fable was Ace Attorney Investigations 2. Who am I missing? Flora is Kerbal Space Program. Am I missing anyone? Did I miss a Zelda? I probably missed a Zelda. What did I miss? Oh no. I feel like I didn't list enough names. Oh no. Artemis was probably League of Legends, and I think that's probably it. Did I miss someone? Dawn. Dawn was Princess Peach Showtime. There we go. I was Dawn. Thank you, Moose. Dawn is Princess Peach Showtime. I'm confident in the rest of those choices. Those definitely match their characters. Dot I could maybe change if I wanted, but the rest of them are fine. Ooh, Tetra Sea of Thieves? Okay. I'm looking that up. Sea of Thieves. I have not heard of this. But it sounds cool. She would like it. You're right. I am down for that. Yeah, Showtime is like a really cute, small, like, just a super adorable game. Where like you play as Princess Peach and you get to be all the things and it's like super easy and like not too hard and fun for all types of people. Sea of Thieves is awesome. Okay, we have a second on Sea of Thieves. I've never heard of it, so I didn't pick it, but I will concede to that being Tetra's game. Phantoms is hard. What game would Phantom like? I gotta think about this. Echo would be like Pokemon, I guess. Young Echo would pick Pokemon, older Echo would pick something else. Like, Echo before the curse would pick Pokemon. One of the older Pokemon games, probably. I like Ruby, so I'm picking Ruby. I am biased as frick. God of War Ragnarok for Phantom? I don't know, look that up. I think that's too American aesthetic, isn't it? Ragnarok. Because Phantom pulls a really interesting line between, like, heavy-duty armor sword fighter and, like, haughty princess woman. Like, she's your tsundere, who's, like, a princess and wants things to be, like, in the princess vibe, but she also wears an armor and fights. Norse mythology. Ah. Maybe. I gotta find a game that combines, like, heavy armor and, like, high fantasy princess. That's the problem. Like, strict and orderly and everything going in the way that she wants. And, like, she's never gonna admit that she likes you, but she kind of does. Oh, this is the one with, like, Kratos? Yeah, I've seen this. Yeah, it's a nice game. I don't know if it fits. I don't know. We'll see. Ah, it's already 8:20. Okay, I actually have to head off, too. We will be finishing this animation at some point. At some point, someday. Oh, Ghost Trick! That's a good one! Hey! That's cute. Actually, I really like that. It doesn't fit any of the vibes, but it does fit the plot so much. Yeah, Phantom is Spirit Track Zelda. Ghost Trick is a funny one, yeah. I'm so tempted. I'm keeping that in the back of my mind. It is puzzle-based, and I guess that is something she would like. Orders and rules and puzzles. Alright, anyways, I'm heading out. Thank you all for stopping by. I'm gonna finish this up at some point. I don't know, I feel like I've headed in a good direction with this, but it definitely needs a lot more work. I'm not gonna animate this yet. I think I need to fix whatever it is that's wrong with it. And we'll figure out what that is. That's the way that art works sometimes. I don't get it to look exactly the way I want, so I table it and I come back to it later, and then eventually it'll look great. Before then, let's go give somebody a raid. Who's doing a stream today? Mesa's doing a stream, and hey, look at that. They're playing Ace Attorney. We love ourselves some Ace Attorney. Let's go raid Mesa and say hi to them. If you haven't checked out the Discord, check that out. !Discord to get a link to that. I'll be holding a vote on there once I finish Zelda 1 to see what game I'll be playing next. And who knows, it could be anything. It could be absolutely anything. I have no idea. The vote will be held at some point. And yeah, also just a fun community. Hang out there if you'd like. Lastly, if you want to see some more artwork of mine that isn't animation based and relies on skills that I actually have instead of something that I'm trying to build, check out my Instagram. I do a lot of Zelda work on there. And I'll see you all later, folks. Bye!